Okay, so just to show you guys the type of damage these gophers can do, those mounds way over there, there's 6 of them, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Those were all made yesterday morning. I set 3 traps out there and didn't catch anything. So last night I came out to actually run the trash out, and lo and behold, check that out. I got 5 new mounds. Put the traps down right here because it seems like he's moving this way. So hopefully I get something in those 2 traps. It'd be crazy if I caught something again on camera, but that's not always your luck. Yeah, some of these guys can be pretty destructive. They can destroy a yard really, really quick. And really, that's all I'm trying to prevent. I have nothing against the fuzzy little creatures, but the nice thing about it is I'm not just throwing them away. I'm letting them feed the hawks and the other birds that are around here that are constantly looking to eat, because there's certainly more of these things than there are of those. So, circle of life and all. What's going on, guys? So we are out here at the property, and I'm running into a bit of an interesting problem. So you can probably see back there where I have the gooseneck Texas Pride trailer and the dump trailer, both parked side by side. And a problem I'm running into is the batteries keep dying on both of them because they're positioned underneath those tall live oak trees. And they only get sun on the 2 small solar panels, you know, just the second half of the day when the sun starts to set. So the problem I'm running into is whenever I need to use the trailers, I have dead batteries. So I can't adjust the hydraulic front jacks on the gooseneck, and I can't tilt the dump trailer on the dump trailer. So whenever I take the dump trailer over to the landfill, it has a dead battery, and I usually have to put a jumper box because the truck hasn't refreshed the 2 deep cycle batteries that are in there. And I think the other challenge I'm dealing with is there's a parasitic draw coming off of the 2 deep cycle batteries, and it's causing them both to die, and the actual maintaining solar panels on them just aren't strong enough to keep them maintained, you know, without constant sunlight hitting them all day long. So I have a solution to it, hopefully, and it's one that I have the option of doing out here because I have the room, but you may not have the option of doing if you don't have the space to do it. But I think for the most part you may, so hang tight, I'll be right back. All right, so what you were looking at in front of you is an item that I purchased off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description because the price has fluctuated a bit ever since I started first looking at this and to now. And there are multiple different sizes of panels that are available, everything ranging from 10 watts all the way up to 50 watts. And you're looking at the 50 watt panel in front of you. And it comes with a really interesting ground stand, which you can actually set on the ground. I'll probably mount it to a piece of plywood or something. And basically what I'm going to do is use the included cables to connect this to the battery on the Texas Pride trailer and see if I can point this in a direction where there's sunlight most of the day and get the batteries charged up. And now the really cool thing about this specific system is, and I got the instructions here in front of me, is the fact that it actually has a built-in MPPT charge controller as part of the panel. So the nice thing about it is with that MPPT charge controller, it'll convert excessive voltage into amperage and help charge the batteries a little bit better, a little bit quicker. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. We're going to hook this up to the dump trailer. First, I got to get it assembled. I'm going to go ahead and bolt all that together, get it in place, and then we'll put it next to the dump trailer, get it plugged up, and see if it can maintain the batteries out here on the property, because you know, one of the worst things you can do is get to a landfill, have a line of 20, 30 vehicles behind you, and it's your turn to go up to dump, and you find out that your battery's dead on your dump trailer, and you're searching around for a jumper so you can get everything working again. So, yeah, so it should be a good solution. I think a 50 watt panel should be more than adequate to actually charge the batteries as opposed to just simply maintain them. But yeah, we're going to get everything connected. We'll get it hooked up in place and positioned out of the dump trailer and see how it works. Okay, so we are out here at the dump trailer. We have the solar panel in place, and I have it already connected to the battery's negative and positive terminal. Now, I know that these solar panels are filthy, and that's probably inhibiting them from providing as much power as they need, but they're still connected. I mounted this to a couple of fencing planks I had and some 2x4s, and then painted it all so it might be a little bit weather protected. It's all pressure treated, and those are going to hold up pretty well against the environment out here. Add some weight too so the wind just can't grab it. It is insanely windy out today, about 35 mile an hour winds. So I don't really think this is going to go anywhere. I'm going to put a block on top of it too to kind of hold it in place. But yeah, we got it connected in here. You can see under here, I have it ran to the positive negative terminal of the battery. Again, that's an MPPT controller. I still have the other two solar panels that are on here. I'm going to wash them off real quick, and we'll come out here at a later date to see how these batteries are doing, if it's been able to charge them up at all or not, because right now, nothing. It is dead, dead, dead. So we got two deep cycle batteries in here, and I'm really interested to see how this provides power to those, and if it's enough to actually keep them topped off and not just maintained, but actually charge them up from dead. So we will find out. This is a pretty good sized panel, and I think it'll definitely do enough to hopefully get these going. That's kind of the goal, but we'll see. Whenever I have this plugged into a wall outlet on the side right here, man, it keeps them topped off and charged completely. But I really don't want to run super long extension cords out to the trailer over here, and this is one of my means of hopefully charging it. And if I can maintain the battery here, I'll probably get another one and hook it up to the gooseneck. But they're out of the way. You know, it's definitely visible for me to see. If I come out here and need to use my dump trailer, I can simply take this and set it on the gooseneck trailer, just move it out of the way. It's supposed to work really well, so we'll find out what's going on with this, and we'll see if it's able to maintain the batteries. I'll put a link in the description to this setup, and I'll give you some feedback as soon as I find out more information about if it's able to accomplish what I'm trying to do. And I now have another use for the aux block. I'll just send it right there, the aux blocks. If you didn't see the video on that, definitely got to check it out. Super cool item. And it'll just add about another 15 pounds to hold this down, which, again, I really don't think the wind's going to do anything with this. I got other solar panel stuff that's mounted up, and none of it's blown away yet either. So we'll see. Again, I'll give you a follow-up on this after a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, to see what it's able to do, and we'll wrap this review up then. Okay, so about an hour's gone by. I'm back out here. I'm almost absolutely certain this thing hasn't impacted the batteries much within that period of time. I'm just going to come adjust it real quickly. But, you know, something I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to get y'all's opinion on this, is when we first got this piece of property, something I had mentioned was potentially putting up a small solar farm. Basically, you know, solar panels that are mounted to ground stands that go to a converter and give me the ability to plug things into it through a battery bank. And if I did it, it would probably, honestly, I'd probably put it right up here somewhere, simply because if I put it too far back that way, I'm gonna have to run some really long cables to get power where I want it to go. And I'd like to have it in an area where I could use it around equipment that I have, things that would need power. And I want to be able to use 120 watt power out here as well. So, you know, we got power way back here. We're gonna have a barn that'll eventually go right around here. And I don't have any power right here, but I am considering, you know, some type of a solar farm. So I do have the ability to connect to things without having to run way back there, and then possibly make it set up to where when we get the barn, the majority of it's going to be solar powered. But we may end up going with like a residential solar power company to do that, similar to what you see on a lot of homes. But I want to try to make some of this stuff more off-grid compatible. And I think part of that is trying to understand where I need power. What specifically am I going to need to use power for, such as maintaining batteries on trailers and things like that. Maintaining the battery I have inside of my my BTB RV cargo trailer over there, and having accessible power for lighting and things like that around the property as well. So I'd love y'all's opinion. I mean, if you guys give me your feedback, do you think it would make sense to throw up maybe a small solar farm, have the ability to plug things into it, not just 12 volt, but also 120, and power things, charge things, and have accessible power off-grid in a small kind of a, I guess, a modular type design. Not where we have, you know, solar panels spread out all across the field, but maybe, you know, 4 or 8 solar panels that are mounted real well on stands that have an inverter, basically everything I need that's in a box or in a weather-sealed environment that we can access power with. But let me know your thoughts. You know what? I'm going to try this. I don't think it's going to be working. You can see I cleaned off all the panels here, but I want to see if it sounds any different at least. Nope, doesn't sound any different at all. I'm sure everything here is still pretty dead, and yeah, definitely getting some drainage coming off of something here. I have the solar charge controller that comes on the trailer. I have this wireless antenna right here, which that is for the ability to wirelessly lift or dump the trailer. And that's pretty much all that would be draining off of it. Anyways, we'll come out in a couple days. We'll see if this thing has been able to charge the batteries at all, and hopefully it has. If so, I'll give you a follow-up review on this. 50-watt panel again, so you know, it's nothing huge, but let's see what it does. And that, coupled with the fact that I have both of these panels also connected, it's gonna be interesting to see if this setup right here is able to charge that battery. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.